Breaking news out of Lawrence, Kansas today. 2 dogs are dead after a fire was set to a tent near the Kansas River levee. A 3rd dog escaped and was taken to a veterinary office for care, according to the release. No people were harmed. Investigators are still working to obtain more information.
The day of the fire was horrific for me.
It was the worst day of my life. The scariest moment, not knowing if the dogs made it out or if they had to burn alive.
In May 2023, we learned of a campfire in North Lawrence affecting a couple that was staying in a tent with their 3 dogs. Unfortunately, 2 of the dogs perished, and 1 of them sustained severe burn injuries. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of this story is that the pet owners were actually doing what we would want them to do. They had their pets safely contained when the fire broke out. The 2 that perished did so because they were in a wire kennel and couldn't escape. And the 3rd dog, Athena, was only able to make it out alive because her kennel was plastic and it literally melted on her.
She had significant 2nd-degree burns on a majority of her body, mostly her face and her front legs. She also had pieces of her melted crate stuck on her fur, and she also had signs of smoke inhalation. Initially, we had to treat her for her pain. She was in a lot of pain, so medications for pain management were essential. Also, because of the severe burns, she was at risk for infection, so lots of antibiotics, and had to give her a cool bath to help bring her temperature down and to shave and clip some of those wounds and the plastic bits off of her hair coat.
When Athena first went to the Humane Society, it was Renee that had to talk me into going because I did not want to see my dog like that.
It was heartbreaking seeing her hurt and injured. But we wanted her to know that we were still there, that she didn't lose us.
What I witnessed when they were put together was profoundly beautiful. The bond was immense, and you know, of course we wanted to take care of this dog, but in that moment I felt really resolved that not only did we need to get her better, but we needed to get her back with her owner.
It was hard trusting leaving her with people we really didn't know, and to know that they were going to take good care of her. But it was the best thing for her at the time to get the treatment that she needed.
Over time, Athena improved greatly. She continued on antibiotics and pain management for quite some time because of the extent of her wounds. And over time, we just saw those wounds begin to heal, the swelling improve, and she just seemed much more comfortable. She began eating. She was super sweet with all of us in the clinic, and just her overall demeanor just improved.
After a few weeks of treatment, Athena was released from our care, and you can imagine how excited we were to get her back with her family, but nobody was more excited than Jason and Renee.
The day we got her back, it was surreal for me because I just didn't know if we were actually going to get her.
Yeah, it was a pretty happy day for me getting her back. I didn't want to let her out of my sight after that. I was at the camp without a job, and I finally met up with a couple people that I felt like I could trust. And some of the staff at the camp kind of showed me that they would keep an eye on her long enough for me to be able to leave and actually get a job and start working again.
We actually continued to see them over the course of the next year while we were doing outreach at the camps in North Lawrence. We brought food to Athena, we delivered her a winter coat, really anything that her and her family needed in order to ensure her health and safety.
When I got into my right mind after being sober, I could not imagine making my dog sleep out in a tent anymore. I wanted a house where she could be safe. I wanted a house where Renee could be safe. I just didn't want her to ever have to go through anything like she did again.
It just kind of drew the line, like, living that lifestyle, it's, how long is it going to last before something happens to one of us?
We received word that Jason and Renee were eligible for rapid rehousing through a program at the Pallet Village. But in order for them to take advantage of this opportunity, they had to agree to leave Athena in our care because pets were not allowed. Jason and Renee made the difficult decision to leave Athena in our care in order to pursue this opportunity with the goal that they would have permanent and stable housing for themselves and Athena in the future.
It was hard because we had to leave her there, of course, but it made it a lot easier to get things rolling, and it just pushed us really to do things a lot faster.
It took some talking to get me into doing it, but at that time we made the decision that it was the best thing for her as well as us.
That and Shannon reassuring us repeatedly that she would be just fine and she'd be 100% taken care of, and whatever she needed, she would have.
Over the course of Athena's stay with us, Jason and Renee continued to come and visit her weekly, every Friday in the afternoon, without fail. Their commitment to her was unending as they pursued this goal of reunification. Every week they worked the program. We saw them happier and healthier and hopeful for a future of reunification with their pet, until finally one day they had secured housing and it was time for them to be together again.
It's hard to believe, looking back, that
Surreal.
it was just in March that we were at Pallet Village, and now we've accomplished so much. We've got a house for her, a dog park down the road.
We've got a car that we're going to be able to bring Athena to Lawrence to see her friends at Lawrence Humane Society. The thing that I find the most joy in is Athena feels so safe now that when I'm gone and I come home, she's sitting there at the door waiting for me. And I don't know, there's something about coming through your own door to your own dog. I've never been to a humane society like Lawrence Humane Society. I wouldn't have her right now in a home if they hadn't taken her and took care of her when we weren't able to. They didn't have to do that. They did it because they love animals. The only thing that I want to say is thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
To the entire Lawrence Humane Society for everything they've done for us.